Dilap. Kinkladze. Oh, it's going to come to Struper! It's a goal for Derby! Renko Struper! At last, reward for Jim Smith's Rams. York. Quinton Fortune. Fortune's cross. York's header. He's done it again. A double for Dwight. Well, determined that Derby have made the champions step up a gear. But of course they are so capable of stepping up a gear. United then 2-1 up in a fascinating encounter here. But Iranio now for Derby. Steps past Silvestre. Steps past Butt. Trying to bundle it through. No free kick. Solskjaer. Roy Keane. He slips it through to Dwight York. It's York for a hat-trick! He's done it! Keane's pass split the defence, and you just knew what was coming next. Phil Neville.
Coventry City.
Last season, Coventry won a league match at Villa Park for the first time ever. George Boateng scored twice for Coventry in a 4-1 win that day. This time he came mighty close to scoring for Villa, but for a great save from Magnus Hedman. From the resultant corner, Gareth Southgate's header shaved the outside of the post. But Villa did finally break through in first-half injury time. Paul Merson's free kick, and Hugo Ekiog powered in his first goal since December 1998. Villa, one of just two Premiership sides unbeaten in the league in year 2000, but Gordon Strachan clearly upset about the amount of stoppage time played. Coventry were forced to make a change at the break, with Noel Whelan on for the injured Robbie Keane. Mustafa Hadji's free kick as close as they came to an equaliser. But Villa were dominant and had two good opportunities to extend their lead, both falling to Julian Joachim and both thwarted once again by Magnus Hedman. The second chance came from a dreadful error from John Eustace, but it stayed 1-0. Villa are still unbeaten in 11 Premiership matches, but Coventry still haven't won away.
I don't think it's inconsistently. We've consistently played well for 4 months, and we've consistently played bad for a month. So it's not inconsistent, it's not up and down. Far from it. We went one defeat in 18, so that's consistent, and now we're consistently bad.
Paolo Di Canio appeared as a substitute in midweek, but he was fit to start on his first return for Hillsborough. And the Hammers were soon ahead against struggling Sheffield Wednesday. Frank Lampard, the scorer. The Owls' best move of the first half ended with young Alan Quinn sliding the ball just wide, with visiting keeper Craig Forrest looking on anxiously. Just before half-time, Di Canio ignored the booing to set up Paulo Wanchop. How different might the outcome of this game have been if the Costa Rican had made it 2-0 at the break. Danny Wilson's half-time talk inspired Wednesday to a much improved performance in the second half, and some over-casual defending from Rio Ferdinand was punished by substitute Richard Cresswell's equaliser. His first Premiership goal of the season. Another to break his duck was Andy Hinchcliffe. In fact, anything that got in the way of his 35-yarder was liable to get broken. After scoring just once in their previous 3 games and without a win in 5, Wednesday could smell victory as West Ham wilted. Nicholas Alexanderson wrapped up the scoring to leave Forrest feeling shaky, and Danny Wilson convinced his side will remain unbeaten for the rest of the season.
What about those programme notes, Danny? It was a bold thing to say, and they could have been thrown back in your face, saying we won't lose again this season.
Well, I think you've got to be stood up and be counted anyway. I think that, I think the lads now are putting the chin on the line now, because you know it's a very important part of the season. You know, we've got 30 points to play for, with 10 games left, and anything is possible if you can retain confidence.
I was bitterly disappointed with that. You know, to come in 1-0 and really should have gone 2 up just for half-time. And then start the second half well enough for 10 minutes, really looking like we had no problems whatsoever. Then suddenly to concede 3 goals like that was a bit of disappointment to me today, really was.
Glorious failure may well be the first line of Watford's epitaph if, as seems increasingly certain, they get relegated. What might have been could be the second. This was another match that typified much of their season. And if Shane Given hadn't been back at his best, it could have been just the Hornets' second Premiership win in 20 games. Having denied Heider Helgeson, Given also thwarted Alan Smart. He'd have been powerless to stop Nordin Wutter, and he hit the gaping target. But Given's third quality save was easily his best. A reflex stop that was literally a smart save. Well, Watford couldn't take their chances, neither could Alan Shearer. How many times have you seen him miss those? He just couldn't believe it either. His embarrassment was diluted just 2 minutes later. His perfectly weighted pass for Didier Domi at the beginning of a move finished by Kevin Gallagher. And Watford were falling to their 21st defeat in 28 Premiership matches. Newcastle now just 1 win from Bobby Robson's survival target of 40 points. And it's easy to forget how tough that had looked when he took over. Watford keeper Alex Chamberlain stopped the victory being more emphatic, but they'll have to average at least 2 points a game from their final 10 to stand even the remotest chance of staying up. Shearer had time to underline that it wasn't his best afternoon, but spare a thought for Watford, who could be within 4 games of going down. They could sympathise for the England captain.
Today we've done well. We found it a little bit tough in the second half as Newcastle have gathered the momentum. But bearing in mind the position that we're in and what we're having to play against, I think the Watford players have done well.
To be fair to Watford, they stuck at it, you know, and I mean, we're not awesome here, but we're a pretty good side here, and they've only lost 1-0 by sticking at it.
That's almost a moral defeat. Just 10 minutes away from each other, but light years apart in the standings. Dean Saunders, a long-range shot, but no problem for Nigel Martin. Now, on the other end, 41-year-old Neville Southall in goal. Is he ready for a team like Leeds? He looks like he's ready for a stool at the bar. Did he pass a fitness test? All right, here we go. Michael Bridges got to that one and put it past 41-year-old Neville. 1-0 Leeds. Then the ball starts in midfield. Leeds with a good combo of passes. And suddenly, Alan Smith is wide open. And he's got it. Uh-oh. Wasn't easy money. He was broke on that one, just pushing it wide. Now to the second half, off a Jason Wilcox cross. The ball in the box. Alan Smith finds Michael Bridges for an easy finish. 15 league goals, second in the game for Bridges, and it's 2-0. But Bradford City, a scrappy club, they're not going to quit. Peter Beagrie puts it on his left peg, then surfs the net. Bradford City cut it to 2-1, but that's how it ended up. Leeds got the victory. Now, Middlesbrough and Arsenal. Ray Parlour weaving his way through Borough defenders with a shot on goal, but he went postal on it. Didn't get it. Now, the second half action, 48th minute. Just 3 minutes into that second half. Paul Ince will flick it over Alex Manninger's head, and he found net. 1-0 Middlesbrough. In the 63rd minute now, Hamilton Ricard changed his boots at the half. He nutmegged Emmanuel Petit, and those boots are made for scoring, and it's 2-0. Arsenal now with Dennis Bergkamp, a second half sub on. He put the ball in the net to cut the lead to 2-1, but Arsene Wenger looking for help, not finding it here. 2-1 Middlesbrough. All right, now all the matters have been